Okay, so this is our May direct meetings, a little bit later in the month than we have had before, but wanted to do. We're not going to take too much time. I don't know about you guys. How everybody's on this call? I feel like we keep doing an evening one every other month because of those that sometimes can't meet us in the day, but I think that the people that keep ending up on the calls are fine with day ones. Is that correct? Everybody here. So I feel like sometimes, especially with the kids and stuff, the days are better for the majority of us. So we may end up switching that again. But then again, I don't know how it's going to be in summer anyway. We might need to switch it because Jen Howe has so much fun when her boys are around all day. Right, Jen?
She looks thrilled.
Yeah, we like to see the boys.
I don't. No, I'm the worst mother.
No, maybe we'll have to do in the summer is we'll have to meet somewhere like the lake or something like that, and then the kids can just swim and. Oh, Terry. Oh, there's the new baby, Ashley.
Oh, cute.
I was so impressed.
Oh.
So why don't we do this? And we're going to talk about our book, but I wanted to, first of all, again, I hope all of you saw it, and again, Terry and Hannah, I'm assuming you guys are in here too, but and Hannah, I think you were, because last month you were green really early.
What's that?
Was April the month that your team was green really early?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Terry, your team,
yeah, like by the 14th or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous. Yearling organization, not only did we have Elaine and Ginger promote this month, which was so exciting, but we also were 100% green. Everybody was green. So that is really
awesome.
Exciting. We haven't been here for a while. And I know April was not that easy of a month to do that in either. So so that was really exciting. So we're continuing our push of being green. I hope I saw some good comments. I did that little video last night about some more of the swag if they're green and your team is green. And I hope that that's helping, and you guys to use that. But one of the things that I really wanted to focus on this call was, we seem to be getting a really good momentum with recruiting. Our business building group is thriving and people are moving and shaking, and that's full of motivated people and stuff. But I feel like we still need and maybe are struggling a little bit with activity and helping and coaching people on our teams when they're having problems getting sales or bookings. Maybe that's a struggle this month and stuff. About tonight is sort of twofold, and it's going to be sort of a brainstorming call. I want to get some ideas and stuff, but what I found from talking to people on the trip, from this incredible Mexico trip with all the leaders and stuff, but what I was talking with some of these people that there's such power in when director teams are really strong together and that we're really working together for the same thing. There's huge power in that. So we've two different things happening because I've done a little bit different this year where I have said, okay, so like the green by 15, we did this at our director retreat. We talked about all the different things that we could be doing. And I sort of said, this is what I'm doing for my team. And then here's the things you can be doing. But I don't feel like we're doing anything congruent all together. All of us working together, I guess, is part of that. As an organization sort of moving there. Does that make sense? So, but I want to be able to do it in a way that doesn't take from you doing it for your own team, but if there was something maybe that we could come up to as a group, as a full director team, to be doing as well, if that makes sense. So let's talk about a couple things. So the first thing is, let's talk about May. what are you doing, or ideas do you have when you've got somebody right now that comes to you and says, I'm having trouble getting sales. I'm having trouble booking shows for May. I'm having trouble doing sales. What is, what are you doing, or what ideas do you have that we can just sort of brainstorm so that we all have some ideas to give to some of our people?
I actually had a call with Heather last week, Anna, and she was very frustrated because people kept saying no about getting bookings. And honestly, I didn't know how to help her. I don't know how to be a director yet. But I did remember one thing from early on, that you always used to guide me back to Pampered Chef, back to Consultants Corner, back to Pampered Chef University. So while I was on the phone with her, I was looking up Pampered Chef University bookings, how to book a show. And I led her to that. And I kind of talked to her a little bit because I was looking things up while I was talking with her. And then I said, all the information is there for you, Heather. Go through it tonight and see what you can do. Maybe you can think of some great ideas. And she contacted me later that night and said, I got 2 bookings.
So, Elaine, just stop right now. Elaine, you do know how to be a director. Because do you think that I pull all the stuff that I know, right? I go right back to PC University to give you all that too. So you did exactly so that's incredible. Okay. So what do you know what she took from PC University that helped her get those parties?
I don't. I haven't even spoke with her since. It's been a really crazy whirlwind of a week here. Of course, we just got back from vacation, and my birthday and Mother's Day, and we've been kind of celebrating every day for something or other. And then my husband has there's a lack of blood flow going to his knee, and he's in a lot of pain. He's on crutches right now. He had an MRI right before we went on vacation, and they thought it was a simple torn meniscus, quick day surgery, and he'll just be out of work for a few days. And when we came back, he got the results, and I think it's kind of scary. But he has to keep all of his weight off it for a few weeks and may end up needing a knee replacement surgery. And we live in a 3-story townhome.
Yeah.
So he's constantly having to go up and down stairs. So I've been doing a lot of running around for him.
Yeah.
And so this has just been a crazy week. So I haven't, other than congratulating her, I haven't spoken with her and asked her what she's done. But that's, it came right up. How do I get bookings? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how to get more bookings for myself. So I went right to there.
But that's a key. Jen Howe and I actually talked about this last week. Sometimes we as directors, we even forget what kind of information is there online, even for ourselves. If we're having struggle going back to those basics and finding out what's there, or listening to somebody else that I was just searching for a Marna Ross thing. That's what I wanted to give you guys to look at ahead of time. Judy had told me about a Marna Ross recruiting, and I wanted to, but I'm trying to find that video. I'll post that for you guys later. So that's a good thing, is to go back for those words and stuff, back to university. Marcy, you need to go down to the bottom left and turn on your video, because we can't see you. Okay, anybody else have any ideas or what we're doing to help our team with activity?
One of the things that I just was going back to the last lead webinar or whatever, that it was talking about coaching, and that, what did she say? Training is telling, coaching is asking. And it's the whole idea that you got to ask the questions so that they are coming up with the answers too. We could sit there and tell them until we're blue in the face what to do, but they're not going to do it. And it's she uses the GROW acronym. G's meaning the goal, which is basically reiterating what they're having trouble with. Like, this is what I'm hearing you say, because a lot of times they might say, I'm having a hard time getting bookings. But then when you really say, okay, I'm hearing you saying you're having a hard time getting bookings, they elaborate on it, and it may not actually be getting bookings. It may be getting a hold of people, or it might be, you know, there are just different things there. You kind of have to figure out the issue. And then the other thing was the R is reality, which is really exploring and discovering what is going on with them. Like, you want to avoid what she says, the D questions, like, did you do this? Did you do this? So you want to go more with this. So tell me what you're doing now. Tell me what you think the biggest problem is or your biggest challenge is. And from there, and then you go to the options, and it's basically saying, what could you do? What do you think you could do? And then going from there, that you don't want to give them actual, like, this is what you need to do. But that's why I like what Elaine said, is she's kind of enabling them, or, you know, to find those answers on their own. Because sometimes that's all that they need to kind of come up with their own answers. And PCU is a great resource that's there for us.
And I like that. And, you know, and that's another part of that too, is where are we with this? You know, if we, because it is so easy, and, you know, we just had our meeting. I was even thinking about, you know, saying, did you hold your own Help with Cancer fundraiser? You know, and I was thinking, I know, thank you, I see that. But I was thinking, you know, about even instead of, but again, it would just be telling them. But I was thinking that, you know, instead of just saying I'm doing a Help with Cancer fundraiser, you know, pulling somebody that they know that's fought breast cancer in any way, shape, or form, and sort of doing it in honor of them. You know what I mean? Making it more personal that way. But again, it's, you know, you'd have to lead them to that kind of conclusion versus
I think
telling
sometimes,
them.
like back in March, I think it was, you know, when I was struggling to make sure that I could maintain directorship and everything, and I called Julie Aldridge and said, I need to do this. I need to know how to do it. She like didn't mess around with any of that crap, so, which I'm glad, because I needed it. But I think it's also because we are at different parts in our business. Like, we know all of that, like the whole messing around, like, did you try this, or, you know, like any of those types of things. What are you trying now? That's not really as applicable. I think we need to remember that, though, that if we ask those questions and lead them to those solutions in that way on their own, not just telling them that, it's going to make them stronger in the long run too.
Yes, Terry.
Obviously the get bookings is the $25 million question every single month with all of our teams all the time. And Elaine, I kind of felt the same as you. I'm like, I don't know what other way to tell them, how to do bookings. And so here was my, I guess, kind of a flippant comment, but I think it might have worked a little bit, because I told them, stop asking. Just be done asking for bookings, but go back and do customer care, because we sell products and none of us, I shouldn't say none, I would say probably 99% of us do not follow up. They just feel like they're a sale and they are not necessarily a valued customer. So instead of calling them and asking them for the next booking, or asking them, be concerned, or be, care about what they've already bought and see that they're using it. Because what if they have a problem and or they had a problem with something, or, why are they even going to want to book a show? If there was, but if you call and you build that relationship with them, again, and reconnect, and that's the chef model and don't ask me what it is. I know it's connected first. Connect, help, something, and follow up. But I told them to go do customer care, because part of the reason why I think that they're not getting bookings is because they are afraid to pick up this little thing right here, and they're not picking it up. And then, I know we're not supposed to ask them the D questions, but the next thing is ask them to track how many calls they're making a week, because they might feel like they've called everybody and maybe they've called 3 people.
Well, and that's part of that reality. Part of the grow is determining. Can you get that?
I think so. Okay.
Sorry, Mikey's getting his GoPro thing. But that's part of realizing what they're actually doing, and it's not only for you to realize, or like for you to realize what they're actually doing. Like that whole, I called everybody. okay, well, how many people have you called? It's not only just so that you realize, but that they realize what the reality was. So I think that is really important, Terry, is that you kind of have them track it so that they can even follow those numbers. It's Judy Joel who talks about it all the time. It's math, not magic. And that it really does come through. If you sit here and do that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't see Ginger.
She usually doesn't let us see her anyway, so.
I had to mute my son, sorry.
That's okay.
I'll jump in. I can say that actually happened to me this week. I got a booking because I had a customer who was having trouble with her card. She had her card compromised while the show was going on. She only had a $40 order, and it was to the point where the host was just getting over the next level of rewards. And I said, she's like, can I just order next week when this gets situated? And I said, well, I'm going to close the party today because the host is, going to get the rewards. And if we take your order out, whatever. I explained that out to her. She was, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let's try this card. And she was like giving me all this. I said, you want to know what? Just mail me a check in a few weeks. Mm-hmm. She's like, no, really? You're going to do that for me? She goes, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go right to the bank and whatever. And I said, yeah, just mail me a check. I'll cover it right now and, whatever. And she goes, just for doing that, I'm going to book my party with you. Let's get it set up.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. She goes, So she just felt like I didn't question it. Maybe she didn't have the money in her account, whatever. But I didn't question it, and she appreciated me just helping her out, and so she helped me out. And it was actually for Danielle. It was somebody from her party. Mm-hmm. And Danielle signed on as a consultant, so I messaged her after and said, look, would you help us out and Danielle and be her first show? And she goes, of course. So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah, so it does work.
It does work. It does. Yeah.
Awesome. Good. Thanks, Ashley. Jen, did you have something to add?
I think it was earlier in the fall, maybe I had a customer contact me about a piece of stoneware that broke, and it was a discontinued piece. So she was, kind of upset about it. So I looked in my stock and I had one, and I just gave it to her, because we always have so much junk that we're always trying to get rid of anyway. So I'm like, just have it. So she's like, you know what? Because you did that, I'll have a show. It was a $1,300 show. So. Wow. Yeah, so I know. I agree with Terry. Going above and beyond for your customer service will help.
And, customer service is one of those things. I know I'm not great at it, and I personally don't think that I coach my team on it. And we don't do a whole lot of training on it. I mean, once in a while we do, but it's not something that, and that could be, again, that's what really makes us different. One of the thoughts that I've been having is, some of us are getting frustrated with some of our virtual parties, and I think some of our team is getting, frustrated with those virtual parties, like 7 to 10. I don't know about you, Ashley, but I feel like some people are having more that are just sort of buds. It seems like, and Ginger can probably pipe in, but it seems like somebody had shown on notifications on one of the shows that it said, don't show any posts from SynShare or something like that, and they didn't know if it was Post My Party. So I don't know what's happening. Again, I think it has to do with all those algorithms. So my thought was, let's, maybe switch it up and do the 1 hours or something. But why not? I feel like I personally, in my own business, are sort of getting away from the theme parties, just sort of making it easier on myself. So just sort of doing the same kind of thing instead of really going back to creating that incredible show experience, whether it's virtual, whether it's cooking show. So thinking about okay, let's go back to that whole solution-driven kind of party. If everybody's crazy this month, why not do a graduation pampered party? Do a 1 hour graduation party just on the dorm essentials. And what is that, Hannah, you're floating? Oh no, that's your calendar. What, Ashley, you have something on my...
I don't know if you follow my Pampered Chef with Ashley Dorso page, but I have changed the way I post things and actually don't really talk about Pampered Chef. I just post because I use the products in my house, okay? So I might as well take pictures of me using the product in my house or when I'm out grocery shopping and stuff. So I've been posting pictures of us using it in our home, and I'll be like the polka dot grocery bags. I said, you know, like, thankful for Ryan's help grocery shopping with me today. My polka dots got lots of attention. I'm not sure if it was me. I'm not sure if it was my polka dots or yesterday's lipstick. And I said, it's a good thing I had these because I think the cashier would have given me a brown bag for my face today. And like, that's what I said. But then everyone was like, I want those. You know, I didn't say Paper Chef. I didn't even talk about the product really. I just like was just being kind of funny and nonchalant about it, and like basically saying I looked like crap on a Sunday I got grocery shopping. And there you go.
That's exactly what the minivan tag team says, is to post funny little thingies, you know? Hey, I'm sorry, go ahead. I want to share something when you're done, Ashley.
No, go for it. I've just been posting stuff like about my dogs and stuff because that's what gets people attention on my normal Facebook. And why wouldn't I do that with my Pampered Chef and then be like, oh, by the way, we're making dinner and look at this yummy meal, and that's it. Yeah.
So I wanted to share. This had nothing to do with anything that we're